my God, would you look at the time? You're listening to Glenn Sinister's Spoken Turd. Hey, you think you're a smart ass? Well, pull up a pew. Hey buddy, you're real funny. Anybody ever tell you that? Now didn't think so. It's about time for a reality check. And it's not gonna be pretty. This is Glenn Sinister's Spoken Turd, episode minus 34, plus 63, times 82 million, divided by 72, live from a bubble in the foam in the omniverse. Coming to you live from the memory of a dream that you haven't even had yet. You're coming to you live from a black hole in another dimension. Do you think you're clever? Do you think you're smart? Do you think you're clever? If you think you're clever, that's the stupidest thing you could ever think. I swear there's this like trendy... I swear some like thought processes can become fashionable. It's like a trend. Something that people keep doing is it seems like they're pretending not to understand something. So someone's coming out of a theory and someone doesn't like that theory. So instead of arguing with it because they can't, they pretend they don't understand the theory. Because they're trying to imply that the theory doesn't make sense. This is what they do. It's worse. It's worse than that. What they do is they interrupt and they change the theory. You're explaining something, and then they go, "Oh, what if it was like this though?" And they make it not make sense. And then by the end of it, it looks like your mess. This is what they do. It's like someone says, well, I think that 2 plus 2 is 4. And then someone goes, no, I don't know. I don't know. Because they're trying to show that they're open-minded. And it's like, oh, how do you know it's 4? How do you know that a fact is a fact? Maybe it's not. It's like, okay, genius. Why isn't 2 plus 2 4? And they go, well, what is 4? What does 4 mean? And it's like, oh God, what ifs and what ifs. Well, what if you get 2 apples and put them on the table? And then you put 2 more apples on the table, count them. How many is there? It's 4, isn't it? And they'll say something that they think is really clever, like, well, yeah, there's 4 apples, but, you know, what if you chop one of the apples in half? Is that 3 apples in 2 halves, or is that 5 apples, or is that... It's like, well, what if you don't fucking chop it in half and just listen, for fuck's sake? Oh, God. It's like you say the sky is blue, and they go, well, is it though? I mean, is your blue, the blue that you see, is that the same blue? It's like, it doesn't matter, you still identify it as blue. If I have a blue pen, and I write down on a piece of paper and say, what colour is that? Even if your blue that you see is orange in my head, when you look at the sky, you still compare it and go, oh, that's the same colour as the ink. Do you know what I mean? It's still how you identify it. We all identify it the same. It's the point in having words. So someone who was trying to make a theory might have only been stating that 2 plus 2 theory as an example to move on to something else, but we don't move on to something else because we get stuck on basic shit, going over what is 4 and is the blue that you see the blue. It's like, oh, please just fucking... I honestly see it as people who don't know how to have real conversations. So they only know how to stand by and watch other people attempt to have a conversation, and then they just interject with their stupid shit. We don't need to talk about 2 plus 2. We need to move on to the real thing, but you can't talk about the real thing. By the way, these people are the same people. I believe they're the same people. If you want to like look out for, you know, who are these people? I think they're the same people as if you go, oh, what day is it? And someone goes, oh, it's Wednesday. All right, so tomorrow's Thursday. And then someone goes, well, technically it's Thursday because it's gone midnight. And you're like, why do you exist? So what was that supposed to blow my fucking mind? Is that supposed to be funny? Or maybe it was funny the first million times that someone said that when I was about 13. You gimp. And I believe that that is the same person as the grammar Nazi. So they want to disagree with what you say, but they can't really. So they go, well, you spelled this wrong. So you said your when you meant to say your. So I don't need to listen to you because you're stupid. It's always you're stupid as well. These people are stupid and it's always with you're stupid. You can't spell, you're stupid. You don't know that it's actually Thursday. It's not really Wednesday. I'm clever. And it's like, yeah, you're really, really clever and insightful. That's why everyone wants to talk to you. Oh no, that's right, they don't. That's why you're interjecting with your bollocks. That's why you're piping up with, oh, did you know that I'm a gimp? That's all you're telling me. You start the sentence with, did you know? And it's like, I did know. I did know that you're a gimp. I don't need you to speak. Oh, technically, it's actually Thursday. I think the reason why it irritates me in particular is because I really appreciate people who question things. So yeah, maybe you should question if blue is really blue or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but you go through, that's the sort of thing you think about when you're like a teenager. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm talking about these are full-grown adults, and it's like the 20th time they've made that same shit joke, or like the 20th time they've come out with the same stupid crap. And you just turn around and go, oh right, I didn't realise I had friends that I hate. I thought it was just everyone else. I thought my friends were supposed to be awesome. Then you realise you're hanging out with fucking idiots. Do you know what I mean? When you're getting older and certain things just, you're like, oh right, that's actually you. And obviously everyone, including me, does and says stupid things. Even the smartest people in the world say stupid things sometimes. But that's not what I'm getting at. I'm getting at these people always somehow walk away thinking they're fucking clever. It's unbelievable. The Suicidal Tendencies, hardcore punk band. They said it right twice in two different songs. One song they said, you're not educated, you're just regulated. And that's what I see. It's like, you think you're fucking clever. That's the other thing, you don't realise you sound like every other fucking twat that does what you do. And another Suicidal Tendencies lyric is, just because it don't make sense. No, what is it? Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it don't make sense. So yeah, if I'm trying to explain something as simple as 2 + 2 is 4, and you're standing there going, well, if, but, you just look like a fucking idiot, alright? You don't look like you're open-minded, you don't look like you're this pondering fucking philosopher. I think it's probably the internet, iPhone world that we live in, where real life conversation has become optional. That's only one way of interacting, there's other ways. You don't have to do that. Don't have to be good at that. This is another thing I've noticed, is you get into a dispute with someone, and it'll be someone you don't really know, and they'll try saying things that only matter, only work if you're my girlfriend. If you're not my girlfriend, I don't care about. It's like if your girlfriend says, I'm really upset about what you said, and then you say, well, what did I say? I upset you. And she goes, it wasn't what you said, it's the way you said it. But when it's someone you don't really know, and it's just like in a bar, and it's just some twat that won't leave you alone, and they go, well, I don't know, the way you said that, it makes it sound like, and I'm like, why do I care if you like the way I said something, dickhead? So, like, who the fuck are you? What is wrong with you? Wait, why do you think you matter? Do you know what, if you had one wish, I bet your wish would be, I wish I had a point of view. I wish I had a personality and a real opinion. But you don't, do you? You're just there to go, well, whatever, what is that? Well, what about a sunset when the sky's orange and sometimes it's pink and purple? Yeah, what about that? You know the sky's blue, for fuck's sake. Oh. Yo, what if I chop the apple in half? Oh god. technically it's Thursday because it's gone midnight. Technically, everyone hates you. Oh, are you sure everyone hates me? Don't you think you're making generalizations? When did generalizations become against the rules? Seriously. When did that happen? Because I thought the point of a generalization was to... This is what I'm getting at, isn't it? Generalizations are designed to speed up the conversation. You make a generalization to say, look, we all know that not all X group do this, but here's a pattern, and we all know that pattern. But let's skip over that and get to the next bit. But someone stops and goes, hey, don't you think you're making a generalization? Yes. It's not a secret. What, am I not allowed to? Oh, just because not all... Yeah, I know. You don't care. You just wanted to point out that you know that. That you know that not all men do this. Not all Chinese people are good at maths. I know. But generally. Sometimes you try and avoid it by actually starting a sentence with generally, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't work. They still go, you're making generalizations. And I'm like, I know! Cunt head! What the fuck? What's going on? What's going on? Do you have an issue with me making generalizations? Oh, you're just checking to see if I'm as fucking clever as you. Trust me, I am. Don't worry about it. It's not hard. It's not because I'm so clever. It's because you're a moron. Fuck my shit. It's basically people that don't understand the concept of an analogy. They don't understand analogies. They refuse to understand your analogy, and then they make their own ones that aren't analogies. They just reinvent the situation to make it fit their theory. And it's like, that's not what I was talking about. It's like the apples thing. This is the sort of thing they'll say, like, what if you chop one in half? Or what if you get 2 cats, and then you add 2 more cats? How many cats? And you go, well, 4. And they go, but what if one of the cats is pregnant? And it's like, why did you... Yeah, but I was talking about apples, wasn't I? You're bringing in the cats thing. It's not a metaphor, it's not an analogy. You've just changed my thing. Why do you have to put this unlikely, ridiculous scenario into a really simple thing just to make yourself feel clever? And the irony is, they're quick to jump on the way you say things. Ooh, sounds like you're saying this. It always sounds like you're saying. They don't ever listen to what you actually say. They're trying to tell you what you're saying. But the irony is they have no idea how they sound. They should listen to the way they say things. And they often start sentences with, I don't see how that... And it's like, yeah, you're just telling me that you don't see. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? You don't see, that's your problem. Yeah, I really don't think... I'm like, yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that you really don't think. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that's right. Yeah, you're not sure. What a big fucking surprise. You're not sure that what I'm saying is right, therefore it's wrong. I try to use analogies to help you understand what I'm saying, and before I've even finished explaining the analogy, you jump in to change the analogy and go, well, what if it was like this? It's like, what if you shut the fuck up? It's a one-sided conversation. They just want to lead it. They want to be the captain of the ship, but they don't know where they're going. So we're just roaming around in the ocean aimlessly, and it's like, look, go fuck yourself. I'm not trying to be rude, but you're wasting my time. You're not interested in discussion. You're not interested in conversation. And I know you might be sitting there thinking, sounds like you hate smart-ass people, but aren't you a smart-ass person? Yeah, I'm a smart-ass. Newsflash, I'm also incredibly funny. This is how you balance this, right? You could walk around being a smart-ass, you're going to make a lot of enemies. But if you're funny, also being funny, it encourages people to go further in a discussion with you, even if they don't agree with you. People don't really want to stand there arguing about stuff. So if a conversation gets too heated or you're banging heads, for the sake of civility, sometimes people will just cancel the conversation. It's like, okay, let's not talk about this. but then the conversation doesn't get had. You see what I'm saying? But if you're funny, people might think you're a prick, but they still find you entertaining. So they'll put up with you, and they'll go further. They'll be having a conversation with you thinking this guy's such a cunt, but they still think you're funny. So they'll carry on, and you get further with the conversation. You get to the bottom of stuff. Yeah, I'm allowed to walk away feeling like I'm clever if I have just actually blown someone's mind. I'm allowed to walk away thinking I'm funny if I've just made loads of people fucking laugh until they were crying. Alright? But you get these people that never made anyone laugh in their life. They've never said anything clever in their life. But they're walking around thinking they're funny and thinking they're clever. And you're listening to me thinking, why do you hate that person so much though? And it's like, no, the stupid jokes and the stupid fucking shit, it doesn't get to me that much. It's on a bigger scale. Forget about me having a conversation in a bar and it gets ruined by some twat. Forget about that. On a bigger scale, these people slow down society. I'm telling you. Do you know what I mean? Every step of the way, we have to stop for fuckhead to listen to them try and be clever. For the sake of what, I don't even know. And I'm through caring. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it, mate. See you later. Gimp Squad alert. Go back to fucking Gimp Squad. Go and impress some fucking twat that thinks you're clever. Oh, by the way, I am lenient. The rules apply. You have to be fair here. If you are a smart-ass dickhead, right, if you are funny, I'm going to give you the time of day, aren't I? It works both ways. Being funny is not... There's two types of funny people, alright? I'm going to have to explain what funny is now. Because it's 2019 and people just... people need this explained to them, don't they? There's two types of funny people. Some people actually can't help it. They're born funny. There's something funny about them. Everything they do is funny. And they might be hilarious, but A, people are kind of laughing at them, and B, they can't switch it off. They can't be serious. They can't. They can only be a hilarious person, but that's actually makes a mess for everyone else. You can't really take them anywhere. And the other type of funny person is the smartest person in the world, and that's me. Clever, funny people are the cleverest people in the world, but when you're this clever, you know that you can't make a change. You know that the world doesn't want to fucking know, right? Because people are just pig-headed, fucking stubborn cunts. And they will just stand by things that they know are wrong just because it suits them. Alright, that's just what people are like. And in the grand scheme of things, it's near on futile to try and get through to people. Because they don't want to know. They love their own shit. They don't want to hear your shit. In the grand scheme of things, people in general, just making a generalisation, not every single human being on the planet, but pretty much everyone, a lot of people, generally, alright? Generally, can you handle a fucking generalisation? In 2019, is it still allowed? People, generally, don't give a fuck about the future. They don't give a fuck about the world. They say they want to change the world, but they don't know anything about the world because they never cared enough to check it out. And yeah, they actually only care about themselves. And they think they're right about everything. They think that the way they think is the best way to think. Otherwise, why would they think that way? So it doesn't fucking matter how wrong they are. They don't want to hear it. Now, it doesn't mean I'm right about everything. It just means I can see that people don't fucking care if they are even proven wrong. They're just like, yeah, I like the way I see it. It's just what they do. But here's the thing. There might be loads of awesome people out there. This is what I don't think is really coming through what I'm saying here. You don't actually need that many of these fucking dipshits for them to slow everyone down. Because you can have 5 people at a table all having a great conversation, and you only need one of these dipshits to come along and go, and you're like, ugh. And that's it. The whole thing's fucked. Back to square one. Talking about 2 + 2 shit. Do you know what I mean? Waiting for dickhead. So yeah, you might go out there and meet. There's lots of places and times and scenes where awesome people congregate, but dipshits follow. And dipshits go, oh, I'm one of these cool people. No, you're not. Oh, I'm going to join in. You're not joining in, you're ruining it. And they slow down the fucking world, I'm telling you. Just think how many thousands of years we've been here before we were born. And how much further we would be ahead if we weren't stopping for fuckface every 5 minutes. I'm acting like I'm all confused about this, but I actually figured this out ages ago. I know exactly why people are walking around thinking they're clever and thinking they're funny when they're not. I know how that happened. I know how you became that way. Ready? I'm going to take you back in time a little bit to MySpace. Right? MySpace in the early 2000s. You probably remember. If you were there, then you remember. And even if you weren't there, you probably know that the MySpace era was the birth of the MySpace look, the emo haircut, the weird MySpace haircut, right? Now, why did everyone suddenly start looking like a complete fucking freak in the early 2000s? And like everyone looks pretty crazy now, but no one has that emo haircut anymore. No one goes that mental with the look. And tight jeans became fashionable, but the shops that sell jeans hadn't actually cottoned on yet. Dudes were buying girls' jeans to have tighter jeans, and they'd have this ridiculous haircut and all this stuff. So how did that come about? How overnight do people just start dressing like complete freaks from outer space? This is what happened. This is my theory. Ready? Selfies existed in the MySpace era, but they weren't called selfies. The word selfie didn't really come about until Facebook. But people were taking selfies. They didn't have iPhones. People did have camera phones, but they were shit. And it was like 2 pixels per picture. So people would actually take photos with real cameras, digital cameras, but an actual camera. And everyone's selfie would look the same. It would be them in the bathroom taking a photo from... They'd stretch their arm up above their head and look down on themselves. Now, why was it always in the bathroom? You probably think because that's where the mirror is, and they're looking at themselves in the mirror and then taking a photo. No. It's because, like I said, people didn't have camera phones. They didn't have a camera with them all the time. Taking a photo of yourself is something that you didn't want to be caught doing back then. So you'd lock yourself in the bathroom and take take loads of photos of yourself. You can have your own little photo session in the bathroom on your own, right? That's why all the selfies are in the bathroom. What happens there is, if you want to try a new look, or if you want to, try and pull something off, you've got to go out there and face ridicule. Maybe. People might say you look really cool, or they might say you look like an idiot. But you've got to go out there and face that. But MySpace was the first time people could test things out. This is before the internet world took over the real world. So the internet was like a test world. You could take a photo of yourself with your stupid new haircut or a ridiculously tight t-shirt that you normally wouldn't wear, post it on the internet, and if everyone takes the piss out of you, you can just delete the photo and pretend it never happened and not adopt that look. But if everyone goes, hey, your hair looks really cool, yeah, comment, PC for PC, and everyone's praising you, you didn't have likes back then. There was no such thing as likes. You just had comments. And if everyone comments on your picture saying you look good, you now feel confident going out, even though you actually look ridiculous. And that has now happened, not just with the way you look, but with your personality and the shit that you come out with. Because you get to test it out on the internet first, don't you? You get to sit there with like 500 tabs open, regurgitating stuff that you've just read, pretending you're all clever. And you've probably convinced a lot of people on the internet that you're really clever. But you can't actually do that shit on the spot, can you? You can't come out with all that stuff on the spot. You need your computer there. And you're lost without it. And you get into a conversation in real life and you can't keep up with yourself. The self that you've created on your fucking social media page. You get into these arguments with people on the internet and you think you're so clever. And then in real life, you just can't do it. Because it ain't real. Your internet persona ain't real. I do it too, Glenn Sinister. It's not really who I am, is it? I do loads of stuff on the internet where I'm playing a character, but I know I'm doing it. And I have a real person that I can always go back to. If you let that fake persona take over, then there's no person behind it. Because like every time you say something on the internet, you've also got all of your little mates backing you up, haven't you? If you get into too much hot water and people start pummeling you with alternative opinions, you've got your little mates that are going to turn up and argue with them and like your comment to make you feel better about what you said. But that shit doesn't happen in real life. Your mates ain't there to back you up in real life. You're on your own with just your brain. And there's not much going on in your brain, is there? And your stupid mates, they don't just make you feel like you're clever. They make you think you're funny. They're like, oh, we think you're funny, but they're not funny people. They don't know what funny is. If you haven't already heard it, you need to go and listen to what Adam Carolla. There's a dude called Adam Carolla. I might actually post a link underneath because I've seen a couple of occasions where he's explained his theory on this. The rules of funny. And he is so right, it's unbelievable. I thought the same thing before, but I've never put it the way he put it. I'll try and explain his theory. I'll probably say it my own way though. You need to go and check him out saying it, but I'll tell you it. You don't get to think that you're funny just because unfunny people think you're funny, alright? They don't know what funny is. They're not funny. And you don't get to say what is and isn't funny, alright? You leave that to the experts. Guess who's an expert? Yep. Now, this is what Adam Carolla's getting at, right? This is the thing where you're going to sit there and go, you can't be an expert on funny, it's subjective. Everyone has their own opinion. What one person finds funny, another person doesn't. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. But here's the thing. Here's what you're not looking at. You can have a wine expert, wine tasting. You can have an expert on literally something that has the word taste in it, wine tasting. How can you be an expert on taste? So you can drink a glass of wine and go, oh, it's delicious. And you can drink another glass of wine and go, ugh. And then the expert will tell you, well, actually, the one that you said to is an amazing wine. And you're like, well, I don't think so. But it's like, what the fuck do you know? They're an expert. And you could say it's bullshit, and I might agree with you. But at the end of the day, no one's going to listen to you, and they are going to listen to the expert. You can be an expert on art. You can be an art expert and look at a fucking smudge on a canvas and go, that's art. And look at an amazing painting that you did of a cat or a house. You go, yeah, it's really good, but it's not art. And you go, what do you mean it's not art? I put my heart and soul into this. And they'll go, and you can say that you've got this big story behind it and a big meaning, and they'll just go, yeah, but the smudge is better. And once again, no one's going to listen to you. You think it's bullshit, but you're not the expert. No one cares what you think about art. They listen to the expert. All right? And if you want to, by the way, if you want to tell me that I'm not funny, you have to be funnier than me, at least. You don't have to be the funniest person in the world, but you have to be at least funnier than me to be able to say that. I honestly don't even know how you have the audacity. Go and try, if you think you're funny, go and try doing this, right? Go and try and do what I can do, which is plot and plan to be funny. Can you actually go, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then when this happens at the right moment, I'm going to say this, and the whole room's going to crack up. And then you do it, and they actually crack up at the exact moment you planned it. Because you actually know what you're doing. You're an expert on being funny, are you? No? Don't feel too confident about that? Well, I'm very confident about that. I've done it a zillion times. I could do it a zillion times more. I never run out of gas when it comes to funny. Don't worry about it. And I wasn't born funny. In case you can't tell, I'm a very, very serious and angry person. And it's difficult to get by. I have to be funny. Otherwise I won't have any friends. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I've worked hard at that. I'm pretty fucking good at it. Not really trying to be funny right now. I'm just talking about funny and the importance of it. And you'll notice as well that what I was saying earlier about, obviously I'm joking when I say I'm the smartest person in the world, but clever funny people really are the smartest people in the world though. I'm not the cleverest or the funniest, but the funniest clever people, cleverest funny people on the planet are the cleverest. Go and listen to some of the smartest people in the world. You will notice that the smartest people in the world, even the serious ones I mean, they still commend comedians. They're always comedy fans and they always have a quote or a philosophy that they got from a comedian that they thought was great. Or people like Derren Brown. I'm pretty sure he understands the human brain quite well. And he seems to have a respect for funny people. Just check it out. Neil deGrasse Tyson, anyone, they all actually wish they were funny over being clever. Because it's actually the height of intelligence. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you're fucking stupid, alright? I can't bother to explain this anymore. And you should go and listen to the Adam Carolla theory properly, because I'm kind of butchering it. I remember him saying something about, he asked some woman what her favourite, she said some show was better than The Simpsons, and he goes, no, The Simpsons is funnier. And she said, it's your opinion. And he got into an argument with her, and that's where he developed his theory on this. And he's like, no, if you had a machine and you could put your show in it and put The Simpsons in it, The Simpsons would come out funnier. It's a fact. Your opinion is wrong. I love that. Because your opinion is wrong. And likewise, if the people that have told you that you're clever, if they ever fucking have, I doubt they even have. I doubt anyone's ever told you you're clever, but you still think you are for some reason. If anyone's ever told you that you're clever, you need to check if they are cleverer than you. If they're dumb, it doesn't matter if they think you're clever. You seem clever because they're an idiot. You need smart people to tell you that you're smart, and you need talented people to tell you that you're talented, and you need funny people to tell you that you're funny. Right? Now, I have had some pretty talented people tell me that I'm talented. I've had some pretty clever people tell me that I'm clever. Well, I've had some pretty clever people tell me that I'm clever, but not very frequently. It's not something that happens every day, is it? You don't meet clever people every day. What I do get told every day by everyone I ever meet is that I have really interesting views. But we all know that interesting is code word for crazy. So it's not exactly a compliment. Interesting is a word that people use when they don't know. It's like they disagree with you, but they don't know how. So they just go, interesting. But when it comes to funny, like some of the funniest fucking people, some of the most hilarious people on the planet, who have actually given people like physical injuries from laughing so much, some of those people, if you say my name to them, they stop and go, now that guy is fucking hilarious. They're talking about me. And this is my question for the smart-ass dickheads out there. I'm just like, who the fuck ever told you were funny? Do unfunny people even tell you that you're funny? Where did you get this idea? I know where you got this idea. You got it from the stupid little yellow face with the crying laughter. But that's not really someone laughing. That's not a whole room full of people going, oh my God, oh my God. That's not that, all right? You're not funny just because someone clicked a button on fucking Facebook, you idiot. And I think the world's obviously always had dipshits, but I think now it's just like encouraged in this way. You get dipshits enabling each other. That's what it is. Because I'm talking about this from my perspective. I'm always painting the picture as I'm walking around in the real world, and then someone approaches me and I'm like, what the fuck's happened to people? And it's like, but I've actually seen it. The funniest thing, this is when I started finding it amusing, because this has always irritated me. But the first time I started finding this amusing